Incoming game over. Warning. Incoming game over.
What is up? What is up? What is up? Game over, Edmonton. We are back. We are on the air. 3 games in a row. You get a healthy dose of your boy, Avry Lewis-McDougall, here in the host chair. Unfortunately, Edmonton's road trip not ending with a victory as the ring light is acting up behind me. There we go. Edmonton falls 1-0 to end their road trip in a tough, tight-checking, hotly contested game in which Edmonton pushed back very well from the second period on, couldn't find the equalizer, couldn't get anything past Adin Hill. Adin Hill, 28 save shutout tonight, a phenomenal game for him. Once again, the Golden Knights get the better of the Edmonton Oilers on a night in which Edmonton couldn't solve Hill, no matter who it was. No matter if it was McDavid, Ryan Hopkins, Draisaitl, Jeff Skinner, Connor Brown. Vegas had the answer for everybody tonight in a white jersey. But you know what though? Edmonton, Vegas, these games are always fun, always a battle, and the Vegas aggression is fun to watch, but if you're an Oilers fan, not that fun. Not that fun if you're cheering for the team in white in a game in which the environment, like always, a game at T-Mobile Arena. Oh, watching a game at T-Mobile is a blast. I encourage you all to go. But you know what else I encourage you to all do? I encourage you all to tap into Hyperdrive Hockey. Check out the flagship show of the Game Over Network, Hyperdrive Hockey. Hyperdrive Hockey covers all things hockey across various leagues, in multiple countries, wherever and whenever it is. Max, Daphne, and Kevin, they got you covered for all things hockey with a steady dose of fun and fan engagement. You can find Hyperdrive Hockey on the Game Over Network YouTube channel or wherever you get your favorite podcasts and on the Hyperdrive Hockey page on the GameOverNetwork.com. Yes, I'm sure they're going to have some thoughts on this game and oh, what? Once again, the lights are saying, you know what, Avery? Nah, we're tapping out tonight. Like I mentioned off the top right there, Adin Hill, 28 saves, stymied really any real chance Edmonton had his way. Edmonton tonight, 10 high danger chances according to National Stat Trick, 26 scoring chances, 23 shots, won the Corsi battle by quite a bit, 59-43, but no, Hill just was solid in that time. We saw Edmonton had a lot of great chances in tight from Draisaitl, from McDavid, who didn't have a shot until the third period. Vegas found a way to quiet Connor until late into this game. Connor was very quiet. It was a game in which everybody else was trying to create chances, be it Connor Brown, be it Kasperi Kapanen. And this is the game in which, you know what, end of the day, you gotta just tip your hat to Adin Hill. You know, you go home, you refocus, and you regroup for Columbus coming up on Thursday back at Rogers Place. That's really all you can do. And of course, if you're watching Game Over tonight, please, you know, let me know your comments, concerns, complaints. Let me know your thoughts on this game tonight, because we're gonna have Game Over later on the show tonight, and Overtime, not Game Over. This is Game Over. We're gonna have Overtime later on tonight, and Overtime is always fun seeing how Oilers fans feel about things. It's fun getting the pulse of the market. It's fun getting the pulse of the fan base, seeing how they feel, because in large part, on this road trip, Edmonton really, you could see the consistency starting to come together, starting to gel, and tonight felt like no matter what they threw at Adin Hill, They weren't able to get anything past him. That's a frustrating night, a frustrating affair. And also, too, a night in which there was no penalties. This was a penalty-free game. And how often do you see a penalty-free game? That's a rarity in hockey, no matter what level. That's a rarity in the NHL by far. But yeah, it was a penalty-free game. Everything was on 5-on-5. Edmonton had to work through that. The power play didn't have a chance to get things going. And you're seeing Edmonton trying to fight through the cycle. One thing that Vegas did really well was stay so aggressive when Edmonton was cycling in tight. They weren't backing off. You saw them on McDavid, on Nugent Hopkins, on Draisaitl, on Bouchard, making life tough for them when it came to trying to get a clean cycle going inside the Golden Knights' end. So that was a major challenge for Edmonton and company in a game in which they wanted to get a nice ending to this road trip here before heading back to Edmonton. But again, the Vegas-Edmonton games are always a blast. And of course, the only goal of the night, Ivan Barbashev cashes in on what was a pass that got deflected, that got knocked into Edmonton's net, pass to Skinner. That was the only goal of the night, the game winner for Vegas as they take it 1-0. So, but again, I've talked before about how for Edmonton it's important to at least get a point against teams in your conference, especially against teams inside your division. And tonight, Edmonton couldn't do that. Edmonton couldn't get that done. That was a tough thing to see. They skated away with 0 points in the loss here. But you know what? Like I said, they have to shake that off and get things going once again for Columbus, because again, there's no time right now. There really is no time to sit back and reflect on a loss like this, especially when you're coming upon a new year very, very shortly here. And it was a game in which, full credit to guys like Draisaitl, like Skinner, who were hustling, trying to get chances here, but that's a tough game to see your 3-game losing streak come to an end. As NHL.com has the 3 stars for NHL.com, Edin Hill, Ivan Barbashev, and Braden McNabb. A clean sweep for the Vegas Golden Knights when it came to the 3 stars. To no one's surprise, absolutely not. To the surprise of nobody tonight. But there's a few names out there who I did scratch my head about, who are in the roster, who are in weird spots, and we're going to get to that here in a minute here. There are some names who I'm really, really wondering about still on this roster. But you know what I'm not wondering about? You know what I'm not wondering about, I'm not confused by? Our friends at LaRouche. Game Over Network is an independent production focused on community, inclusion, and quality people. If you're interested in supporting the Game Over Network, we have crowdfunding options available. In the description of this episode, you'll find a link to our Patreon page, and we're also working on a page through LaRouche, a crowdfunding platform for companies originating in Quebec. For LaRouche, we're aiming to raise $15,000, and if we hit that goal, we'll gain access to government grants that will allow us to employ more people. And I know you want to see us do that for the Game Over Network. If you have any ideas for what you'd like to see us give away as giveaways from these crowdfunding efforts, please let us know in the comments on Twitter, Instagram, or in our Discord server. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Second period. So I am a little bit concerned about the roster when it comes to a few names that are still up with the big club. One of them being Drake Kajulia. And I really don't get why Drake is still here in Edmonton when I know we had the one good game against Nashville, but for the most part, Drake has been pretty quiet among the forwards. Only played 8 shifts tonight, 544, 1 shot, 1 hit. Just not very effective as someone who you bring back up as a veteran presence. I would have much rather see this team call up Noah Philp, someone who impressed me in a major way in the preseason, and someone who I believe, deserves a much longer look at the NHL level, can bring a little bit more, is aggressive on the puck, has a nose for the net. I'm very much in favor of bringing up Noah Philp, giving him some more time in the NHL, because right now, Drake isn't as effective as an NHL forward. Great Bakersfield guy. Great AHL player right now at this point in his career. But at the NHL level, Drake Julia right now just isn't hitting it for me. And I could say the same thing for Derek Ryan. Derek Ryan played 851. Derek Ryan just wasn't at his best again in that depth role. And it was a tough night. But again, overall, it was a tough night for everybody in a white jersey. I mean, we saw the Drysdale giveaway. Dry's giveaway helped lead to the goal that set up Vegas scoring the 1 goal on the night. It was a tough night for Connor Brown. It was a tough night for a lot of that forward core in general. And also tonight, Jeff Skinner 1550, and it's so weird to see how Jeff Skinner just isn't getting a chance to play more or playing often in Edmonton's top 6. And you all know me. I'm a big Jeff Skinner guy. You will know my thoughts on Jeff. I feel Jeff should be playing a lot more in Edmonton's top 6 on the first or second line consistently. And we haven't seen that in Edmonton for whatever reason. I think that's a little bit weird. But I want to see Jeff rock way more consistently on the top 6 forward core units, because that's what you brought him in for. You brought Jeff Skinner in on that 1-year deal to be able to play a little bit more on that first line, and we're seeing, I don't know if it's apprehension from the coaching staff to do it, but it's a weird thing where Jeff Skinner isn't playing that much on the top line or even the second line like he should be. I felt he should be on the top line or second line all the time, because you brought him in to play mainly with Leon. So it's really weird as to why he hasn't stuck there on that unit, and he shuffled between second, third, fourth briefly, first sometimes, but he's not consistently getting chances to play the top 6, and that has me a little bit concerned, to be honest. But it is really weird. But overall, a game to reflect for a minute, then keep it moving. But I want to see Noah Philp get a nice, long chance to play at the NHL level, because I feel that he's a big body that deserves this look, has done, best bided his time in Bakersfield, produced when given limited NHL chances. So why not? See what he can do, give him a chance for a few games. You can't tell me he can't click effectively on that fourth line, or maybe even the third line. So let's see. I want to see Noah Philp get a nice call up to Edmonton for a little bit. Let the hometown boy cook. Let him cook. Let him cook in Edmonton for a little bit. Why not? See what he can do to give that bomb 6 a nice little jump start in my mind. But yeah, it was just a frustrating game overall to watch. I'm sure if you were down in Vegas, because we saw how there were quite a few Oilers fans who were down on this road trip, who were in Utah, who were in Denver, who were in Las Vegas. I'm sure if you were on the strip tonight watching that game, you were just thinking, they got to get this done. They got to sort this out. But that'll be a fun road trip, I got to admit. That would be a really fun road trip to go check out Utah, Denver, Vegas. That Rocky Mountain Southwest region is really cool. And I've been to Vegas. I've watched Golden Knight games in Nevada, but I've never been to an Avalanche game, and I've yet to go to a Utah HC game. But I'm sure if someone did all 3 as an Edmontonian, I'm sure it was quite the experience and very, very, very fun. So, but you know what else is fun? You know what else is fun, y'all? Content on the Game Over network. All of it's fun. You should tap into every single show. Especially what's coming at you tomorrow morning. You know what that is? Do you know what that is? It's Game On. Yes, Game On is a short form daily news podcast covering everything about the NHL. Hosted by Graham Mosimann. Get all your NHL news in 10 minutes or less, Monday through Friday on the Game Over NHL YouTube channel and in podcast form, which you can find on the GameOverNetwork.com. Graham does a wonderful show, dives right into all the NHL stories in less than 10 minutes, and now Graham is doing some PWHL stuff now this season is underway. So we love the PW, love to see Graham tapping in more with that on Game On, and also PW talk on Hyperdrive Hockey. And I'm sure here on Game Over Edmonton, we'll talk some PW as well too, because hey, in February, the takeover tour is coming in February. Toronto and Ottawa. Will you be there? I'll be there. Rogers. Hope to see y'all. Sorry, y'all. Third period. As we start to wrap things up on Game Over Edmonton. And please, if you got any comments, questions, hit me up, let me know, and we'll get to them in overtime before the show wraps up. Always fun to see when people want to hop up and in, get their comments off, because engaging with Oilers fans, engaging with the fan base has always been one of my more enjoyable parts. No matter win or lose, it's such a animated market in all NHL cities. It is easily one of the more animated markets. So now, you're heading back home to Columbus. Who do you start in net? I got a gut feeling the rotation continues again, where you do go back to Pickard and you throw Stu at the Blues on Hockey Night in Canada. That's just my take right here. Or maybe, do you want to stick with Stu, and say, because Stu had a fine night. Stu didn't have a bad night. I mean, yes, early on, that Barbashev chance got past him. Yes, that weird pass shot got past him. And yes, it was a second shot that beat him. But after that, Stu settled down. He made some nice saves. It was a matter of the finishing. Tonight, the finishing didn't do anybody else any favors. When you get that many chances, a lot of double-digit, high-danger chances, and this team just couldn't get it done. And I know, I sound like a broken record. We all do, talking about the high-danger chances, the lack of finishing, but that at times for this team has been a problem. That has been a problem for quite a few games now, is consistency of finishing, especially in games in which you should win. Those are times in which, like this game, right, Edmonton, with the way that the division is right now with the Pacific, when you're in that logjam for a division title, I know it's early, but you're jockeying for the division and for playoff seeding right now. It's tight. It is tight. Right now, Vegas sits at 35 points. First place, LA's in second at 31. Vancouver at 30. The Flames at 30. Edmonton 28. So you don't want to fall in that place in which you're looking at wild card 2 or wild card 1. Edmonton wants to get in one of those 3 Pacific Division spots. And again, we're only a quarter of the way in. You're right in there. You're not 2-9-1 trying to dig yourself out of that obscene hole like you were in last year. But still, Edmonton right now sits in the second wildcard spot at 13, 10, and 2. Colorado is tied with them in points, but Edmonton is up in second place. Colorado at 28. And then again, St. Louis, 2 points back. St. Louis right behind you. These are games which you got to get a point or 2 points with the Blues right there. And then Seattle at 25. San Jose at 25. Utah at 24. I gotta admit, though, it is nice seeing San Jose and Utah starting to figure things out. You can see the progress. You can see that progress from a San Jose Sharks team who's, you know what, credit to Mike Greer. Mike Greer is starting to sort things out as the GM, so I gotta applaud him for that. I gotta applaud Mike Greer for that. But yes, if you're Edmonton, you gotta get things going here. So, and then you're playing Columbus on Thursday. Columbus has themselves, they've had a pretty shaky year. 11, 10, and 3, 25 points in their last 10 games on the road. Columbus is 3, 7, and 2. So right there for Edmonton, you're playing a team that is not good on the road. At the same time, though, we mentioned on one of our last shows, Edmonton at home, they're 5, 6, and 1. So it's a matchup of a team coming up on Thursday that can't win on the road against a team that can't win at home. Something's got to give. Something has to give in that game on Thursday. Somebody's going to win on the road. Somebody's going to win at home. And hopefully it's Edmonton to just get out of that funk they've been in a little bit right now at Rogers Place, which, again, is a weird thing to say. Edmonton, for some reason, just cannot find consistency at home. So, all right, and we're seeing, there you go, we're seeing some of the questions and comments pop up and in now in the chat room for Game Over Edmonton. So yeah, so we'll get to those shortly here as we start wrapping things up on Game Over Edmonton. But it's been fun here doing this 3-game run with y'all, tapping in, enjoying the company, enjoying going through the games, enjoying recapping what happened on this road trip here. But overall, though, you gotta be pleased with the fact that Edmonton, yes, did get points in Utah, did get points in Colorado, a place in which we said before, Edmonton historically has had a very hard time getting anything done in Colorado. And they got a massive win against the Avalanche on that road trip, getting a huge 4-1 win. It would have been nice to get a sweep of that road trip, or at least take that game to overtime and get 8 points. But hey, you got 4 of 6 on this road trip. That's a good sign. That's great. At worst, I would say the lowest you could have taken would have been 3. None would have been a disaster. But hey, 4 of 6, I'll take that. I will take that on this road trip against 3 good hockey teams right here. And well, I would say 2 great hockey teams and 1 on the rise in my mind. So, actually, no, you know what? I would say Colorado is just trying to figure it out. I would say 1 great team, 1 team trying to figure it out, and 1 team on the rise. How's that sound? That sounds better. All right. But you know what's great? You know what's always amazing? Game Over merchandise. Yes. Game Over merch never lets you down, never leaves you lonely, never hurts you. I know you want to get some gear. The winter season is here. Winter is upon us. You want to stay warm. You want to look fresh. What better way to support something you love than by rocking it as clothing? Game Over's apparel line has dropped with 3 unique designs. Whether you feel nostalgic pull of a retro skater design, want to make a statement with our established design, currently on sale by the way, want to wear your love for goaltenders proudly with our Live and Die by the Goalie design, or if you just need another coffee or tea to get you through the winter, we got you covered. Go and grab a mug. Designed by our boy Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on stream. You see that code? Hit that QR code, scan that, and it'll take you to our apparel store and have a look. Get some fun things and help us rebuild local sports media in Canada while repping your community. Yes. Game Over merchandise. Always fresh. All right. Overtime, y'all. Your questions, your comments, your complaints, your admiration, your holleration in this dancery. It's time. And we got some comments here. We got a comment here. Sergeant Battle 4. Oilers played great tonight. I hate losing to the Knights. Boys played hard and never quit. No, that's the big thing, is that you saw a major amount of pushback from this team. The pushback was great. This team didn't sulk. This team didn't get down after the first goal. You saw the feeling out process, yes, certainly, as the first period continued, that was certainly there. But the second period onward, second period, third period, the pushback was hard, and in large part, it was really Vegas on their heels after the first 20 minutes. It was Edmonton pressing, trying to get the tying goal, pushing the pace in that final 40 minutes. And tough way to go down. First period, shots were 5-3 Vegas. Second period, each team had 9 shots. And you see, in that third period, Edmonton turned the heat on in a major way. Edmonton had 16 shots to Vegas's 2 in that third period. The Oilers threw everything at Vegas in that third. They threw the kitchen sink. They threw the bathtub. They threw your granny's dentures at Edin Hill. But nothing could beat him. That was just a great game for the number one man in that net for the Golden Knights. So, and again, not much more you can do when you get that many high danger chances and you can't finish. Some nights go like that. It's tough, but what can you do? What can you do? And it's tough because there are a couple of chances that you saw. Again, McDavid had a few great chances he couldn't finish on. Kasperi-Kapanen had a good chance as well, and Kapanen couldn't finish. So that's going to be worked out because, hey, this team has no choice but to work through it and but to figure it out going forward. But I do like the fact that, again, staying aggressive. The new guys are trying to sort things out. Kasperi-Kapanen, again, nose for the net, trying to generate chances, doing what he can. You know, win or lose, Kapanen is trying to make an impact on this team. You notice Kasperi-Kapanen on that forward core. You're not wondering where he is in large part. And he hasn't even played 10 games yet. He's still fresh on this roster. So fresh, exciting. I'm sorry. But yeah, he's still very fresh. But I want to note, it's a good thing that Troy Setcher came back on the bench. You saw it in this game, took a scary shot off the ear. So that's going to sting for a while. As we saw, Troy Setcher went to the room, get some repairs. And there's no way that felt good. Taking a deflected shot, a wrister in the ear. You could feel the pain. You saw Troy Setcher was leaking from the ear. You could see that pain as he skated off the ice. Under his own power still, which was wild to me. Goes to show how tough some of these guys are. But it appears that Setcher will be okay. I'm sure we'll hear more from Chris Knobloch regarding that. I doubt he'll miss time, but we'll see. I'm sure Chris Knobloch addressed that post-game in Vegas. I'm sure there'll be updates when this team returns to Edmonton in the next day or so. But anyways, we're going to wrap things up here on Game Over Edmonton. Thank you all for tapping in. Hope you had fun. I know tonight wasn't a result. Oh, hang on. Oh, here we go. Oh, got some more comments here. Sergeant Battle got some more. And yeah, again, Jeff Skinner. Yes, Jeff was buzzing. And the dam will break for Jeff. He gets more time, the dam will break. One thing about him is that he's always been a guy who can find his way to the net and do something around the net. And one more comment here from Sergeant Battle 4. Only the 4th time in NHL history that there has been 1 combined goal and 0 penalties. The last time, 1944. Now that's a stat. That is a stat. The first time since World War II we had a game with 0 penalties and 1 total goal. There you go. Some entertainment and some education for you tonight. Anyways, now we're done. Game over, Edmonton. Talk to y'all folks later. We are back on the air after Edmonton plays Columbus on Thursday night. Stay safe. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I'm Avry, and I am gone. Peace.